What day is it?
It's
Thursday!
Oh. I was getting my Viking on.
Thursday?
Thursday.
It's a late... This is Fridays with Andrew for last week.
Yeah, because Mother Odin decided to interfere.
Hold on. Odin's the god of thunder. He has nothing to do with snow.
No,
Thor's a god of thunder.
Odin is everything.
Man, should I rewind this so you can edit that?
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yes, you're right. So Odin, do you have anything to do with snow?
No, well, he has crows.
He can't. Well, in American God, he made snow.
Well, he has Norse. Anyway, you really just screwed the pooch on that one.
You want to?
And Loki is looking at you,
I need more coffee.
accusingly.
Yes, I need more coffee.
It's Fridays with Andrew, the Quickening for some reason, which is a Highlander reference.
Yeah, I don't know. It just spoke to me. It's what Odin wanted. So Odin, for whatever reason, didn't want us to shoot on Friday, so we brought a bunch of snow. It's nice and sunny now. I guess we can thank Balder. My Norse mythology is getting weaker and weaker as I keep going with this reference. But I do have last week's picks. My picks from last week.
Golem over your shoulder is so cool.
Is it? Oh, me want to see what the picks are.
Let's picks, precious.
We got Optimus Prime Annual 2018.
All right.
Labyrinth Coronation or Labyrinth #1, and Royal City #10.
Cool.
Which frequent viewers will know that Royal City was on my cranky for best new ongoing. So it's continuing with that quality. Let's start with Optimus Prime Annual #9.
All right, so we're going to talk about Transformers right now. Might as well.
Show what we got on this bounty.
Wow.
This bounty.
This also needs to go out into the cases.
Bounty of Cyber Trinity and Flesh.
It really is.
Except so that's an oxymoron. They don't have flesh.
Oh, well, they have moving mouths. I never got that. That's why my favorite Transformers all my favorite Transformers had things covering their mouths.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see their weirdly metal, fleshy mouths.
Mouthpieces are just cool. Well, no, the real...
Mouthpieces are cool.
So Justin triggered the Transformer fan, the fanatic in me. The real controversy is about teeth. Because Beast Wars added the addition of teeth. And that drives Transformer fans crazy.
Because they don't eat, they don't grind things.
The whole reason they did was to...
But
it was an artistic choice.
Wait, teeth for the robot mode? Or
the robot mode had teeth. Ratchet had teeth.
Yeah.
Dynamite had teeth. They had teeth.
Well, the teeth make sense when they're transformed into the beasts because they're trying to blend in.
Right. No, but the robot modes had teeth. Well, the reason it was there's few. Hold on. We're talking about comics. I'm very obsessed about why Transformers had teeth, but we'll talk about that another day, I guess.
Hold on a second. So we just had a comment, and I have to show. Gina just said she liked the ones that look like cassette tapes, and I haven't put these out yet, but oh my god, I think we have pretty much every cassette represented here.
Oh, and we even have those Korean bootleg vintage cassettes.
Oh yeah, we have like a weird...
Yeah.
You want to see something weird and cool? Oh, sorry, Andrew. Fridays with Andrew's over.
Friday with Andrew is over.
It's
Where is that?
Thursday. It's Thursday with Andrew.
Oh, my phone's ringing. I'm going to decline it. Yeah, you watch that 12-inch Boba Fett.
Just rely on your
Boba Fett. Look how cool this is. They're kind of oversized.
Where?
So that's like a store display. And they're like
so
KOs. So we
cool.
can't sell them online because they're
What's
knockoffs.
really cool about this is that it actually comes with a little box cutter, so the store employee can cut them out of this display and sell
And
them.
what this says is, "Hola, there's a bahade."
Get ready to be on a crack
I
diet.
like that. I like that sad sound your phone made after that's got
Get ready to be on a...
You should probably turn your notifications off.
So fun fact, Justin, there was an article from Cracked or BuzzFeed or somewhere that blew up a few days ago. It was called "Why Do People Still Do Mocking Asian Accents?" So
That wasn't an accent. I was speaking Asian.
oh, I apologize. He was speaking Asianese.
Oh my god, I'm being terrible.
Anyway, so
Just being you.
Yeah.
if I can steal back the thunder from our in-house linguist, that's you. We're talking about Optimus Prime Annual. So the plot of Optimus Prime Annual is Thundercracker. Within IDW continuity, is one of the more popular characters in the continuity. They really did a great job expanding on his character beyond just being a lackey, beyond just being like kind of a recognizable, iconic Decepticon stand-in.
Gotcha.
And they really based it in the original 80s tech spec. There was a blurb about how he doubted the Decepticon cause. And so they kind of took that and they ran with it. And they kind of made Thundercracker into this affable, not dumb, but like kind of like easygoing guy who is easily swayed into things. And during his time on Earth post-war, he really, really got invested in Earth culture and Earth television and film, and he really wants to be a screenwriter.
All right, let's stop.
Okay.
So at some point, Thundercracker on Earth.
Yep.
They crashed here millions of years ago. Then
No. They tried conquering Earth. They all killed Megatron.
Oh, is this not in line with the G1 storyline at all?
A little. It's very divergent.
Okay.
Very, very. They don't crash land millions.
Oh no. Okay.
That part's completely.
Because I was going to wonder when he started sitting and watching TV.
Yeah. His
old
favorite show is
movies.
a Nurse Jackie Pasquet. So for Nurse Jackie fans, Thundercracker and you have something to talk about.
Oh my God.
So he really wants to be a screenwriter. He's currently working. I think he's a refugee with the United States government.
Oh really?
Yeah.
When the rest of the Decepticons leave and he's just here?
No, there's other Decepticons on Earth. It's a whole. The post-war politics of the Transformer books are so fascinating.
Awesome.
I can talk about that for hours.
That's awesome.
But him in particular, the United States government really likes him because he's like the most easygoing of the bunch. Because there's a lot of thugs in that group. But Thundercracker is very easygoing, very
affable.
Yes. That's the word of the day. But yeah, and he really wants to make these films, but nobody wants to have a robot alien from space write their movies for some reason. By the way, Thundercracker, best poet since Tommy Wiseau. I'm gonna read you some of his dialogue. He was working on a G.I. Joe film for the United States government. It's what do you mean, Chuckles? And do not press the button on your remote control. It will detonate those same missiles you mentioned. I know what the button on the remote control in my hand does, Cobra Commander. And here's what I mean. I mean a hero will sacrifice anything.
Oh, this sucks. So he's not actually good.
He's not good at all.
So he really wants to do it.
Honestly, this is Ed Wood if Ed Wood was a robot. He's so nice and he's so sincere.
And cross-dresses.
And, I mean, can they make a dress that size?
They can make anything.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so he really wants to be a screenwriter, and it's so endearing from an audience perspective, and you kind of want to see him succeed. Anyway, so to branch off from what he wants, Starscream, who in the beginning of the book is the president of Cybertron or whatever, I forget the actual title that they have, and he really wants, as Cybertron is building relations with Earth, really wants to get a better image of himself than
sounds like bad comedy.
Than the backstabbing, second in command, conniving, whatever, Littlefinger Decepticon that he kind of has a reputation for. So he wants Thundercracker to write and direct his
propaganda.
Bio. Yeah, to make a propaganda film.
Yeah.
But that's not what Thundercracker sees. Thundercracker sees this as this big auteur moment.
Okay.
So it's a great character-driven story. It's very funny. For people who like stuff like Ed Wood or The Disaster Artist, that's all about film and the creative process, and people who shouldn't be in that but like really try, this is a great title. And there's a lot of just meta.
Let's go over that again. It's for people who like Ed Wood and
The
Disaster Artist. Read this Transformers comic book.
Yeah, for Transformer fans who love
How about that?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I love it.
I'm intrigued.
I love it, and I usually don't do spoilers here, but it's very funny and it's very in key with our store. The book ends with a George Lucas Spielberg type loving his stuff and deciding to hire him. So
awesome.
Take that as you will, movie fans.
Well, that's like oh my God, that's so meta.
Yeah.
Because Spielberg and Michael Bay.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, I will give it to Michael Bay. Not a great writer.
Yeah.
But he really his style, his always moving things exploding. He created that style.
He knows how to make things entertaining. And
yes,
captivating.
Absolutely.
And honestly, like I was about to.
His movies are so dumb, though.
Absolutely,
they are the lowest common denominator of dumbness.
Well, some people even to the part about them being captivating. A lot of people who like action scenes and like fights and what you have in movies don't like his stuff because, like you said, it's like
always moving.
It's always moving.
Right.
They're great for people with ADD,
That's most of the world now.
Yeah, it's the ADD action movie, and that's for whatever reason so yeah, and I hear he's a nice guy, so I don't like ribbing on him too much.
He did that Aaron Burr milk commercial.
He did. He absolutely did.
How cool is that?
That's a great commercial.
It is a great commercial.
That's a great. Weren't we just talking about the Got Milk?
A while ago. Yeah.
I thought it was literally last week.
I think it might have been.
Yeah, but so he did that commercial. It's great. This comic is great.
Cool.
There's a lot of
disclaimer: Michael Bay did not write this comic.
No, Michael did not. Well, actually, again. There's actually a fun bit where they do like a fake credit instead of the comic credit. It's like as if it were like a movie credit. So it's like
that's
written
cool.
by and then with the actual creative team, it's like special thanks to John Barb, the people who. Yeah, so I give it an A. It's really. It's just
so this is a one-off. It's one.
It's one and done.
Okay.
It's built off of everything that came before, though.
Yep.
So having read the various ongoings and miniseries and other one-shots will help it make sense.
Yeah. You have a loose Punisher up here in the case.
Okay.
But I can't see a price on it.
Oh, Penelope will look for you.
Yeah. And just one.
We are a store, and sometimes we have customers.
This is live. It's live.
And we're live. We're live without a net here. I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
There's Twitch streamers and whatever, which we are also one. But they, we're in it.
They're in like in a closed little universe where,
we're interacting with them.
We are.
We're the livest you can be. And there's really quick. There's one other meta thing in relation to like this, how the Seekers all have the same body type, and how Thundercracker writes, directs, and stars as Starscream himself in Skyward. So I give it a solid A. Very funny story, very clever for people who know the filmmaking process and who are interested in the filmmaking process, and just a nice, funny story for people who want a character-driven comedy with a.
So, in a little aside here.
Sure.
My friend Mikey Wynn, he does all the vinyl work for the store here, him and his wife Amy.
Awesome.
All the stickers in the store, all the vinyl work, the windows, everything they did. They're very talented and great people. Shout out to Michael Wynn and Amy! And they have great kids. Mike used to be in a band called Treachery Is Your Forte. And I always thought that was the stupidest band name. And we were talking one day, and he was like, yeah, man, I love Skywarp. He's like my favorite Transformer. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. In one of the G1 episodes, Megatron's telling Skywarp how much he likes him. He's like, Skywarp, treachery truly is your forte. And I said, Mike, I love the name of your band now.
That's a great name. Great line.
What a great line that Megatron says to Skywarp.
Great. There's, as dumb as some of those G1 episodes are, like I'm talking about like where Powerglide is going on a date with a girl and Sea Spray's dating a mermaid. As dumb as that stuff is, which I love, even though it's dumb, but whatever it is, there's some really interesting writing bits.
Yep. Especially the Frank Welker got to say some great stuff as Megatron.
Yes, he did. And as Galvatron.
And as Galvatron, yeah.
You would see it. All right, so solid A.
Cool.
Really great stuff. I love the Hasbro IDW verse, and Thundercracker is one of the best characters in it. He's very. One of my favorite Transformer fans on Twitter said after this comic came out, please, no one ever let anything bad happen to IDW's Thundercracker. He's too sweet and pure.
Well, I wonder if that's juiced the toy at all.
I would think so, a little bit. It's giving it more recognition and everything. But yeah, very, very solid stuff. Next we have Labyrinth 1.
Can I bother you real quick?
You can totally bother me real quick.
I'll
Here.
take the phone. Yeah.
Oh, just like literally a single question.
Well, I'm going to give Andrew the phone.
Yeah, just really quick.
He can talk to the folks.
Yeah.
So a lot of the legends have fallen over and just decided to do their own thing.
Labyrinth Coronation. Oh, I'm wearing glasses, by the way, for National Retro Video Game Day, which we here at Farpoint are celebrating. So we got free swag if you wanted to come on down for that. So the Labyrinth Coronation, I'm just going to play some, show some pictures for that. It's written by Cy Spurrier. I don't remember what Daniel Bayliss. Great little. It's a prequel to Jim Henson's Labyrinth film, which I am a huge fan of. So I was hugely excited for this comic. It talks about sort of other people who have gone into the labyrinth and is kind of expanding on the origins of Jareth. And it kind of uses the questionable narrator plot device in a really cool way. I'm just rambling on.
Oh man!
All right, great. I was just talking about how this is a prequel, Secret Origin style Labyrinth.
The origin of
Jareth.
Jareth, okay.
It basically it shows one situation of how Jareth came to be, but a really, really cool thing for people who don't like this origin story. In the beginning, Jareth is talking to one of his goblin minions about how goblins speak in tales and lies. So it right off the bat, it's throwing the questionable narrator plot.
Yeah, who knows if it's even true? It's like the Joker in Dark Knight.
It's like the Joker. It's like Great Gatsby is another one of those types about how much of it is real. It's a very classic plot device, and they use it really, really well here. I personally like this origin of a jerky aristocrat who kind of strings along a young, impressionable woman, has a child with the woman, and then when things aren't going his way financially, might want to discard the lady and the child to the chagrin of the wife. And how the labyrinth and the realm of goblins gets involved with that afterward.
Wow.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right.
So it's a really interesting...
It really hits home for me. No, I'm just kidding. My family never had money.
Well, I don't know how to pick up the ball when you drop it like that, Justin.
I'll try and pass them to you easier for now.
Yeah, there you go. Softer throws. But yeah, it's another great... I keep saying this a lot, but I like them in my comics. Character-driven work. I'm a huge fan of Labyrinth, as I am of Transformers. Not as funny as the Thunder...
He's got some serious contouring going on there.
Yeah, well, no, hey... I mean, Jareth, like his actor, are makeup masters. His eyeliner is always on point. Yeah, it's just... I would recommend this to Labyrinth. Like I said, I was saying how they kind of play it safe with the questionable narrative. Well, I don't think it's playing it safe, it's being creative. They're creative with the questionable narrative.
But in doing that, they're playing it safe because they're not locking themselves into anything specific. Yep.
Well, they might not be allowed to lock into anything specific. We don't know what the Henson rights are and how much freedom the Henson company... When you're doing a licensed work, you still have to answer to some guy.
Yep.
So, who knows whether
it's kind of like Rian Johnson. He might have written the new Star Wars movie. But
Henson is running the Henson company.
But potentially he had to... answer to specific people.
You brought that up. Here's the thing.
We should make it a thing to bring it up every Friday with Andrew.
You can. Well, no, I have an aside about this. I am liking Last Jedi less, but not because of the movie.
Because of us?
Yes!
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, it's because they're making
too many valid points. I understand.
Oh, no. No, it's because I'm having too many fights about it that I'm remembering the fights instead of being able to enjoy the movie.
I don't remember liking the movie. I just remember being assaulted about it.
Yeah, Justin, if someone bludgeoned you with a package of Rice Krispies...
I would start hating Rice Krispies.
I'm sure you would. But yeah, so I give Coronation...
You guys all set? All right.
I'm like...
Labyrinth Coronation's another A.
Awesome. Another one-shot, or...?
No, this is an ongoing.
Ongoing, okay.
It's a developing story. Basically, the woman and her child are in the labyrinth.
Is the child going to end up being...
Do you want me to... I don't know how much I should talk
No.
Yeah.
Read it.
Read the book. It's really good. And again, we don't... Whatever answers they're telling us might not be true.
Okay.
Anyone who's named Jareth might not grow up to be the Jareth that we know.
Oh, wow, so it's that potentially vague.
Yeah, they really...
Sure, no problem.
No.
You can ask me.
Do you take NASCARs and stuff like that?
Not really NASCAR. It's too specific. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. The NASCAR is in the big box and the metal. They're usually die-cast.
Yeah.
It's just hard to move. Only has trucks if they're from the 60s or 70s. And still in the boxes. That we would be interested in because they didn't make a ton of them back then.
Right.
So that's potentially good money. But in the 80s and 90s, they made so many that...
Live deal making.
Yeah, in the 80s and 90s, they made so many of them that everybody has them, no one's buying them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But if you want to bring the old one in sometime, yep, bring it in. We'll take a look at it, look it up, see what it's worth.
Okay. It's like
But, and then you have the list of
like
the
a
other
big
ones.
dragon.
Okay, good.
Stands
Alright,
up and
thanks,
it opens up and it, the mouth opens and
Oh,
the
yeah.
Huh.
noise and the eyes light up.
I'd like to check that out. It sounds very like Godzilla-ish or something. Bring it in. I'll check it out.
Okay, no problem.
Art. So yeah, so this is Royal City number 10.
And this has been a ongoing favorite of yours.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite books last year. I gave it the original...
Georgie said, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh, hey Georgie, how's it going, guy? Man,
Bud.
I'm a human. I know how to interact. Yes, Royal City, telling the story of a particular family, the Pike family, who live in Royal City, a town that was once a steel hub of America, not so much in recent years. The second arc of the book has been talking about the backstory of the family. So we're seeing younger versions of all the characters that we are accustomed to. And this isn't really a spoiler because it's 10 issues in. One of the members of the family, Tommy Pike, hasn't been alive since 1996. So we're actually seeing him, not just flashbacks or like how his family have been remembering him. This is actually, I think, the last day in the life of Tommy Pike. As he and his siblings go to a party that they have in the steel mill, and hilarity ensues after.
Oh, well, there's steel mill parties.
Steel mill parties, for all their steel mill towns. Really, really emotional book. Really, really, I don't want to... our lovable Frank, when we were talking about the show This Is Us, would call it emotion porn, or
What?
I forget, he called it crying porn, I think.
Oh, is it just... Is it manipulation? Is it emotional manipulation?
This is.
Is it like that goddamn gum commercial?
Which one's the gum commercial? I'm not familiar with the gum commercial.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I don't consider it manipulative, but other people might. I consider it to be really genuine, and it seems organic the way everything happens. There is again, slight spoilers. Because I really, really admired what this is all illustrated and written by Jeff Lemire. So, he does everything. He's the genius behind Sweet Tooth. He did my favorite graphic novel ever, which is Underwater Welder. I'm just a huge, huge fan of his work. And he does something really, really unique here. The flashbacks are being dictated from Tommy's diary, from before he died, obviously. And he loses his virginity. So there's a lovemaking scene, but what I think is really interesting is instead of showing two teens getting it on,
it's his diary.
It's his diary pages.
Wow.
And I think that's really, really, and then the afterglow. But no, I think this is a really, really unique.
Yeah, it is.
Approach
And
to
it's it's a unique approach to storytelling, but it's also genuine. It's also. Real?
Nostalgic.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that's...
There's something... Yeah, there's something about it that invokes being a teenager, that invokes youth.
It makes you a part of it because you're reading a book as opposed to seeing a picture
also,
with
I think
it.
these aren't even... I think he drew these, leaflets. He painted or whatever he did to illustrate them. Instead of just, scanning leaflets and then writing it down or whatever. So I don't know, just the art...
It's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea. It's really... Yeah,
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
We're all getting in on it.
Yeah, well, no, because it's just a really interesting idea, and I'm not sure if he did.
Man,
that.
so people are paying him to read. He could just sell a notebook.
He could, yeah. At that point, you're making a novel, but you're just doing extra steps for a novel. But yeah, really good. Really, I love this. I love these characters, and I love this world. And it's genuine stuff. It's everyone's been a lost 20-year-old, and everyone's been maybe had a teen pregnancy scare, or everyone's had it's.
I guess.
Yeah, not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Saying everyone is a stretch. I don't know. It's just very relatable and it's very compelling. That's the word.
There you go.
It's compelling. It's original. I love it. This is basically I just love it. I'm at a loss for words.
Wow. So this ongoing is that good?
I love it.
Do you have that book?
He does.
These are all mine. No, yeah. For anyone who's looking for a story in comic book format that isn't a superhero thing, that isn't some weird fantasy, get Royal City.
I'm gonna read it.
You would hate it. A plus, 10 out of 10.
Now, why would a mother hate it?
I know her tastes.
Okay.
Yeah, why would I hate it?
I'll tell you
Right.
after the show.
Okay.
I know things that you don't like that happen in stories that happen that you wouldn't like, because she and I have some disagreements about the nature of storytelling. Yeah, it's A plus. It's 10 out of 10. It's great. It's just really, really great.
Wow. So, okay.
I've only ever given one other A plus, by the way, and one other 10 out of 10. It was for Snagglepuss number 1.
Oh, even.
Snagglepuss number 1 even, and this is just as good as that. It's just really, really well done comic book storytelling, and reminds me of why I love the medium so much.
Cool.
Royal City, man, it's
Well,
America's in a really weird spot sometimes. So just it's kind of like pure Americana in some way, and like I guess it lifts my spirits as it's making me utterly depressed.
okay.
Is that a good way to?
Sure. I love depressing things.
Yeah, everyone does.
Well, it's been another Fridays with Andrew, but guess what? You don't have to wait long for another one.
Yeah.
Because the next one is
Back tomorrow.
tomorrow with
Tomorrow
chapter
even.
14. There might even be another Royal City. No, that's only once a month, isn't it?
Yeah, another way. I wish there was a Royal City every week.
We'll have these Transformers priced out.
I'm gonna do a Last Jedi reference now, because for people who don't watch Red Letter Media's weekly podcast or monthly, weekly Half in the Bag, it's the thing they do. There was a funny joke in there, because they were saying how like it ended like sort of as the beginning of a Saturday morning cartoon, and then Mike goes, "Well, that's great because that means we'll have a movie every week." Anyway, I thought it was a funny one.
I'm really, really looking forward to the Plinkett review.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Red Letter Media, that's a character that they do.
Yeah. The only way to watch the prequel trilogy is to watch it through the lens of Mr. Plinkett.
Yeah. Or the machete style, that sounds good.
I want to interject real quick and say that we sold Star Wars toys to Mr. Plinkett 2 years ago, and I'm still excited about that.
Yeah, they ended up in the video. Some
Still excited about that.
Farpoint's cameo and big online YouTube criticism.
Look at us.
I like my pixel bow tie. I was playing with that a little bit.
So today is National Video Game Day, as well as National Women's Day. Natural and Retro Video Games Day.
Yeah.
So actually, we got some stuff. We got some. Before we sign off, there is some retro video game stuff going on here. I don't know if you know this, but we've always carried vintage video games and systems. Bam! Oh Lord! But now we are carrying modern systems that play the vintage games. So if you don't want the problem or hassle of
Having to blow in the cartridge.
well, no, they're still the same cartridges.
Oh, yeah.
And don't blow in the cartridge. Use alcohol and a Q-tip. But anyway, sometimes you got to mess with you got to wiggle it. The pins are loose, but these are all modern. Some of them have HDMI inputs, and you can play all your retro games on them. This is
You
Penelope
can play them in your car if it has an HDMI port.
You could, yeah. It's Penelope playing Tetris. I would wipe the floor with you in this.
I would. What?
But,
I have an idea. Farpoint Tetris tournament.
I think I'm down with that idea.
I love
thinking
Tetris.
We're about to have a Farpoint Tetris tournament. See you tomorrow, Friday and Andrew. We might actually do an extra video tomorrow. Andrew, get behind me.
Oh, sure.
We might do an extra.
me,
We
Andrew.
might do an
Get
extra
behind
video
me.
tomorrow and talk about
Oh.
the Oscars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have
Yeah.
to do that.
These guys will. I didn't watch any
Oscars.
movies.
Oscars so dull.
Oscars so dull.
All right.
That's really good.
Peace.
That's really good. Hashtag. Get that trending.